What did we go and do before the concert, you may ask? Well, we went bowling.
Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. This is simply Selicia, and I wanted to sit down with you and talk about my Pentagon Prism Tour experience. So first, like, just getting through like the ticket process. You know, we bought tickets months before. This was by chance that I figured out that Pentagon was going on tour. But the second I figured it out, you know, I like wrote down the day to get tickets because Dalton, who's my roommate, you've seen him in videos before if you've been around here a while, he is Universe. So I wanted to be sure that we could get to Pentagon. So we got our tickets, luckily. I did Silver VIP, so that came with a high touch event. People who did the Gold VIP, they did a high touch and a photo. So we went ahead, we got our tickets, and then it was just waiting for the day. And because Pentagon is pretty much my last concert of the year, I'm sure, it felt like it took forever to get to the concert, like get to the day, and then suddenly it was here. And it was like, oh, it's time to go. And I could not find information anywhere about like the schedule or anything or like what to expect. So it turns out finally, like 2 days ahead of the date, the schedule and stuff was released, like extra information for us was released something like 2 days out, and it was on Live Nation's K-pop Twitter, which I did not know that Live Nation had specifically a K-pop Twitter. So if you ever do anything that has Live Nation a part of it, check their K-pop Twitter. I didn't even know it existed at that point. So I finally found everything, and this was the schedule, so I'll put it here. Everything when we like bought the tickets and stuff were will call. So we had to line up at a specific time and everything. Like the day before, Dalton and I had planned to be there at least by like 3 o'clock to start getting in line. But the day of, I started checking Twitter and stuff, and people were already lining up at like 6 a.m. I'm not particularly surprised. It was just that I wasn't thinking about how many people come from out of town to go stand in line, and you know, I was just thinking about House of Blues as a venue because it is small and they do not have space for that. like you can line up on the sidewalk and stuff, but they really don't have space to do the lineups that I guess K-pop usually has. Like, you know, this isn't that big of a venue. They don't have that space that wraps around like the whole venue like that. It doesn't, like, the venue is not that big. So you're just out basically in front of all of the public businesses and stuff lining up. So that was how it started. So I just like tweeted out like, oh, what is the line like? And waited for people to respond while I was getting ready. And they're saying it was getting pretty busy by like 8 and so on. So I was like, well, we're gonna push up our time that we leave then. So I'm trying to think. Because we wanted to be there, the train ride takes about an hour. So we're like, okay, based on the time it is now, I didn't want to wake up Dalton too early because he had stayed up. So I was like, okay, 10:45 will do. So we get up, get ready, bumped up that time to 10:45, literally missed the train by 4 minutes. So now we have to wait for the 11:45, and it's one of those things where it's just like, man, the train runs late. Literally, like, every day. And of course today is the day it doesn't run late. So we went and got Chipotle. And then we took the 11:45, and once you get to Union Station, you can just walk to House of Blues. Something like 20 minutes, maybe less. Because House of Blues is actually just right past the Riverwalk. So if you just get off at Union, let's say you're like over by Jackson or whatever, take a right, take a left, and follow it all the way around, down the river walk, and then up. Boom, House of Blues is right there. So, got nice views while we were out there.
There's so many Pokestops.
We're almost there. We're almost there! So we got there around like 1:30ish, something like that. And we stood in, like, we just went into the line and we're like, oh, is this the line? And they're like, yeah. So we went and stood in the line. And, you know, it was one of those things where it's like, this doesn't look as busy as everyone said it was. Well, surprise, that was because they started giving out all the stuff earlier. So, because they don't have space. So they, you know, they picked us out of line for like the VIP and like, oh, get your ID, blah, 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 blah. So we go out and you're getting in line to get your wristband. So, you know, they divide it by name, last name, and we just go in, show the ID, get in line, get your wristband, leave. At this point, I'm not sure why they didn't hand out like tickets and all the like the laminate and stuff. They were keeping that to like the 3:30 time or whatever that they said, instead of just doing it all at once. That was a mistake, and I'll get into that later. So, you know what? I'm gonna get into it now because it bothered me like no other. This was the worst line situation I have ever experienced in my life at anything, ever. Like any concert, any venue, ever. And, you know, it was just absolutely terrible organization. And, you know, it's not because of Universe. Universe was wonderful. It was nice standing in line with everyone. They were really great. I saw a girl that was in front of us, like, I guess a friend of hers didn't show up for her, like, VIP package, so she, like, picked somebody out of the regular line and was like, hey, you want to come with me and do the VIP thing? And it was really nice and really sweet. People were handing out, you know, freebies and stuff. I actually have some right in front of me. Let me pull these out. First things first, these were the wristbands. So we were 245 and 246. Someone came through and they had like these. Oh, dropped it. Here we go. Somebody came through that had made these. So this is like Utada. And then, let's see. They also came through and had these as well. So this is the person that handed these out. And then, I don't really have like a Pentagon bias, but if I did, it would be Hongseok. So I just picked Hongseok. These were, when we got back in line later, they started handing these out. These are the VIP laminates. I wish I could get a better focus on it. Yeah. It's really nice. It's really like, it's really good quality. And then these have like I liked it a lot. I've never had like a laminate for something before, so I enjoyed getting a laminate this time. And then I'll show the slogan since I have it here too. And this one is, they have like the fan chant guide on the back and then the directions, and then this is the banner. So banners do not hold up well with me. I just fold them right away because they're just, I don't ever do it because I'm never thinking about it. I'm just too busy like yelling and screaming and whatever, and I honestly feel like banners get in the way half the time until that specific moment. So I just fold them up, put it in my pocket. If I think about it for that moment, then great. But otherwise, they kind of just get in the way of like the photo time and stuff like that. But this one says, "Don't let go of Universe's hands." So it's really cute. It's pretty. put it in my bookcase with all my other slogans that I've managed to keep together. And then these are just like the tickets. So it was just not organized at all, and you know, it was one of those things where like we had a feeling that it wasn't very organized, because when we were there just lining up to go in and get wristbands, it already wasn't that organized. But I thought like, okay, they got hours to figure this out, right? So like they're gonna be good. No, when we came back later, it was just as bad. We had a lot of time to kill because you don't line up again until like 6:30 or whatever it was, and you know, you're already through the line at like 2:30, something like that. So actually there's a bowling alley like literally just across the street. We went bowling. Came for a concert, went bowling, and then went back. Like we went around and ate food and stuff. Here for Pentagon! Wow. So excited. They did. And then just came back to the line. You're all numbered and stuff, so you think it's gonna be great and that you're good and that they figured it out. They didn't figure out shit. Like, they didn't. It was like there was no communication. And you know what? Part of that is because, you know, this is why when you book your dates for your, you know, concerts and stuff, for your talent, don't book them so close together, because one, they need rehearsal time. Two, you need to figure out the lines and like the amount of people. Like, people are gonna show up for K-pop. You need to figure out that, like, what your line situation is gonna be in your schedule, and have very clear organization and instruction. And you know, when everyone's flying in the day of and you don't know like what's gonna happen, and you know, you're not there at least a day ahead of time or the very morning of, it gets really complicated like this. And I wish that more people handling like idols and stuff like this would give them that time, because their staff just really needs that time. And it helps a lot, because just the unorganization that we experienced in that line was just infuriating. Like, I was so mad. Like, if I could come up with at least 3 things just standing here thinking about how awful this like is right now, I already thought of like at least 3 solutions that would have avoided all of this. And everyone's just walking around lost. Like, I don't understand that. It's just, it's not safe, it's not smart, it doesn't make sense. So it's hard, because it's one of those things where it's like the House of Blue staff needs to talk to, you know, the Live Nation staff and Pentagon staff, and it's a lot of back and forth. And you know, admitting that you might need help is great and smart, and would have saved a lot of time. You know, they should have done things like VIP, get all your stuff all at once. Get your wristband, your ticket, your laminate. You are in charge of it, bring it back. Like, that's not too much to ask. Like, the fans are not gonna lose it. They need it. It's just like, at least like the laminate and blah blah blah. Like, that's fine. And then maybe the ticket later or something, like some kind of combination of that. Not have it be will call, like just let it be our digital tickets. I don't know. I'm sure they just were trying to avoid having it like be resold and stuff, which that definitely helps. But it's just like, plan it better. And you know, that's not a Pentagon side. That's just the organization of the venue and of the people that, you know, are in charge of taking Pentagon around. I'm sure they've had stressful moments for them too. If things are like disorganized on our side, they are probably also disorganized on their side. And you know, everyone's a champion and they get through the workday, but it's just like some like semblance of organization would help. it never got better. Like, the staff never got better the entire time. Nothing was figured out. It was just like, you know, they didn't label the doors or anything. We got through, get the rest of the stuff, and then it's just like, what door do I go to? What number sections are this? And you just like, eventually you find it via word of mouth in the fans, and you just get in line. We finally got in line. We got there, pat you down, go up into the venue. We went into the pit. So we were at the pit. I got a lot of great footage there.
Just do it!
Everything was awesome. Like, we were just right in front of sound check because I didn't want to be pushed by people very much. Turns out that didn't matter very much because a certain Wusiak fan site stood in front of us, and you know, they kept trying to go farther and farther back because they want to get better pictures. That was annoying. And I was like, please, can you have just stood to the side or something? You have a nice camera, you can zoom in. You didn't have to be in the pit. The House of Blues really is not that big. She could have stood near the stairs or something. Or, you know, I knew she was a fan site because somehow she magically came in with this giant bag and everyone else had to do like their bag checks and stuff. I don't know how she got past anyone with that. They had, you know, a whole giant tote bag that, you know, didn't work for anyone else. I don't know how it worked out for her, but she had her giant camera. She was like hitting the person in front of her with her camera. She was backing up, stepping on us, like pushing us back against the like sound barricade, and it was just annoying. But to her credit, if I can give her any credit, it was just that at least it was only during most of like the talk segments. So like she didn't really do it during music and stuff. But it's still annoying. Like if you're a fan site, just get to where you need to be. Do not invade other people's space, hitting them with your equipment and other things just to get a picture. Like, it's not that serious, fam. You chose to follow them everywhere and try to sell it. That doesn't mean you need to be rude, basically. And it was just like so annoying. And it's just like one of those things where it's like, everyone's already packed in here already. It's really hot. Eventually, I got sick of trying to avoid and move around her, and I was like at my peak, cannot deal with this anymore. I had sat through at least like good like half of the concert and sat up front and had a nice time. You know, like they're all right there. You can see them. They're looking at you. They're scanning the crowd. They're very friendly and energetic, and they did amazing. The concert was amazing. It was just the people that I was around at that point. I could not anymore. It was too hot. And I needed to find an alternative. So I left the pit because I couldn't deal anymore. And I didn't want to start anything. So I left the pit and just kind of went on an adventure. I was like, oh, what's it look like upstairs? Go upstairs and check it out. They got like, they have it on like the TVs everywhere and stuff. So I was just checking out other parts of the venue, because usually I'm around the pit when I go to the House of Blues. So, you know, it was nice. They sounded great. They did amazing. They had like this cute game segment, and you know, they had, you know, they said really wonderful things, and they had a good time, and so did Universe. And I think that's the most important part. So I will put in my fan cams. But outside of that, after that, then it was like, okay, what do we do for the high touch and stuff? Oh, surprise, the staff doesn't know. So I was irritated, like, I was already irritated because I was pushed out of my spot by having to deal with this fan site, and already, like, none of the organization at all today. So, all the people who didn't have like VIP started leaving, so I just sat at one of the tables and waited for a while for like all the commotion to kind of die down and figure out where we're supposed to go. And it was just like staff started coming around and be like, hey, we're hitting a curfew soon, so like if you guys could just go, that would be great. It's basically what they were saying to us. They were saying it in a nicer way, but they were basically like, you know, it'd be nice if you guys left. And it was just like, sorry, I paid for high touch and like this VIP experience. No, you should have been more organized. I'm sorry. I don't give a fuck about your curfew. Like, I paid to do this thing. I want to do this thing. They want to do this thing because they offered it. Like, you can't just force everyone out because you didn't organize your event. So eventually they figured something out and they were like, okay, everyone who has VIP, go to the pit. They were so excited about figuring that out, as if everyone wasn't already doing that. It was just such a pain in the ass trying to figure everything out. But eventually, like, I found out in the pit. We went up. We had no idea that they were gonna do their, like, high touch and stuff on the second floor. So, like, that floor had been cleared out, and they were literally just up there, like, watching everyone until people looked up and started, like, cheering and stuff because they saw them. So that was pretty funny. Like, they're just, universe, just hanging out. And, you know, we went through and went and checked it out. And when you, like, get in line, this is my first time doing high touch. So you get in line, and honestly, I wasn't nervous. It was just like, well, at least we finally got this organized and we can do this. And, you know, I was more excited for Dalton than I was for myself because he is Universe, and, you know, he got to, you know, meet his idols. It was great. And he went ahead of me. So he was like, I literally went through and said hi to each one of them and just hit their hand. The line was so fast. It was literally maybe 10 seconds to get through all of them because they were trying to push us through. I didn't accept that. I am that person. I didn't accept that. I knew they wanted us to move fast and that we'd move fast naturally. But honestly, like, after doing everything, like, after going through everything, and, you know, this part where the staff wasn't pleasant, they still put on an amazing show, and I wanted them to know that. So I'm sure I'm probably one of the people that slowed down the line because I stopped in front of each of them, looked them in the eyes, and I was like, thank you for, like, you are the highlight of the day. Like, you did amazing. You're awesome. And, you know, they're so cute. They're so, like, thin and lean. Like, they're so small. Pentagon is smaller than I thought they were. And it was just, like, they're so, like, their smiles, they're so bright. They're so, like, happy. They're so, like, just, like, they had a good way of, like, as you go through each member, they were very great at, like, making you feel like they are actually paying attention to you. Like, it's just you in that moment with each person. Like, they did that really well. They were very soft. For those of you that would like to know, their hands were very, very soft. They were very naughty and very, like, smiley, and, like, they were just really cute. So it was a very good experience in terms of, like, just finally getting to do that. And, you know, the whole concert as a whole from their end, Pentagon was amazing. And it was a good night despite, you know, hang-ups and frustrations. Like, everything, they did great. Awesome. Worth it. You know, got to see it, got to experience it. They did amazing. I hope that they come back. They didn't come with, like, a lot of merch this time, so I hope, like, they have, like, more stuff going on if they come back. And overall, if I could say anything, is that Pentagon is amazing, Universe is amazing, everyone else sucked. So that was all. But that's kind of my experience. If I have any more videos that I didn't show, like, during this of my time there, I'll put them here at the end. But otherwise, if you like what I do on my channel, please like, please comment, please subscribe. Share any of your stories if you also went to Pentagon in Chicago, or if you went to Pentagon in another location. You know, drop it down here. How was your line experience? How was everything where you were at? I want to know. So, you know, what did you like the most? What did you like the least? Let's talk about it. I'm totally down to talk about it. So please share with a friend. Let's build our community here, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.